Welcome to the American Business Podcast. I'm Kevin Deveci, your host. I'm welcoming you episode 152 in the American Business Podcast, the voice of American business. Quote of the day. As you know, we have a great partnership with missionstatements.com, and here is the quote of the day. It is better to have one person working with you than three people working for you. Okay, great. Well, we have a special guest in the American Business Podcast today. I'm going to invite our guest to our virtual stage and let's get the conversation started. Hello, Richard. Welcome to the American Business Podcast.
Kevin, my man, so happy to be with you and your audience today.
Thank you very much. It's very nice meeting you. I'm welcoming you to the American Business Podcast. Where are you connecting from?
I'm connecting from Central America, beautiful, sunny Costa Rica.
I love it. That's great. How are you? How is your week going so far?
Everything's doing great, my friend. As we say here, pura vida, which means pure life. I tell you what, when you get to my age, every day's a blessing. So just trying to be happy every day and not trying to carry a lot of heavy weight and just see what I can do in order to make big piles into smaller piles so I can control my life that much better.
Yeah, that sounds great. I appreciate the positive energy. Well, why don't we get started?
Yeah, sure.
As a start, would you please introduce yourself and your organization to our viewers and to our listeners?
Of course. I am the proud CEO of Costa Rica's call center. We're a bilingual, dedicated nearshore call center that focuses on appointment setting, lead generation, sales, back office support, customer support, even non-voice support, and celebrating our 18th year in business. Can't believe it's been this long, but I tell you what, sometimes you just got to let it ride. And if you have a really good run, you just keep going with it.
Yes, congratulations with your 18th year. It's a long time, and that's great. So many more years to come with success, hopefully. Yes, this is great. Congratulations. Okay, well, we love to learn more about you. How did you get started, your career journey? How your career has unfolded over the years?
It's an excellent question. What's interesting is nobody really has a blueprint for a CEO of a call center. It's not offered in college. And when you graduate high school and you have to choose majors, usually it's being a doctor, an attorney, or an engineer. I had no clue. So going as far back as my high school years, I chose Spanish. It was my favorite class. I majored in it in college, and I was able to use that to open doors. And when I transitioned to Costa Rica, I had momentum. And so sometimes the add-ons, the garnish, the side dishes can even be better than the main dish. And so I was bringing a lot of things to the table. And by having those, I guess, skills, characteristics, and just the old school grit, just to go for it, the timing seemed to be right. And you get these butterflies from time to time. Kevin, two types. One is if you're really high up and you don't want to fall, But a second one is when you're grounded and you know how high you're gonna fly, and you know that something good is really about to happen. And so I kind of felt that coming of age changing moment in my life. And so I've kind of held on to that magic, that wicked energy, and I haven't let go.
What is the secret of your success?
Just to be happy and smile. You know what it is? I mean, if you want to get on some technical terms, it was really extending empathy. My industry, the call center industry, has one of the largest attritions that are out there. So besides competing against salaries and location and schedules and friends that work there, you could be shaving a lot of your staff if you made them cry or you gave them the walk of shame or deface them publicly. And so I'm not saying that I could stop the bleeding, but I definitely reduced it by extending that empathy and giving people dignity. They might last longer. Or if I'm not around, they might say, Kevin, come here for a second. You might not want to quit. Maybe you're having a bad day. So sometimes I'd have people speaking for me, and trying to save accounts, agents, or just the morale of the project when things become tiring and tough. And so that, my friends, I'm not going to give you some special sauce. It's just bottom line foundation. You
Hmm.
just treat
Hmm.
someone well, chances are they'll stay.
Okay, well, let's talk about AI. That's a popular subject in the American Business Podcast. How do you see
Mhm.
the impact of AI on business nowadays?
I see AI is fantastic for gathering. It will assist you from level one to level two sort of questions. But there's a couple things that are out there, my friend. The first is the uncanny valley. That Japanese scientist back in the 70s knew what he was talking about. There's a certain point where it freaks you out, where they act too human, or there's this little glitch or sort of tick that they have that repels you, that you just don't want to even deal with it. And so they have to be exceptionally careful because you could be catfished or when you get these robocalls. But I
Mhm.
tell you what, I'm realistic. If it's almost like a kiosk at McDonald's or at the airport or self checkout at the supermarket. I do understand these things. It is taking. How about this one? The money machine. You know, we're able the ATM. I mean, could you imagine, Kevin, you and I having to go to the bank just to get cash? I mean, it's. So I do understand there's certain sacrifices. It's a buggy whip, so be it. But um, you and I both know that there'll be a time when you have heightened anxiety, sense of urgency, or it's just extremely important. So you want to press zero. You want someone to extend empathy with you at the law office, at the doctor's office, at your insurance place, or wherever.
Mhm. The
A
human touch.
computer can never, yeah, man, a computer's never going to
Mhm.
tell you how much they love you. That's not right. I can.
That
They
is true.
can't. It's just not like that, Kevin. And so that's why I'm saying I still believe that your company and my company will always have a front line of very polished, well versed, well educated individuals that may assist when necessary. So that's kind of where I see my industry going. Yes.
Okay, well, what are the best marketing practices for the highest ROI nowadays based on your professional experience?
It's carpet bombing. It's, you know, if you can get millions of things out there, you're playing better odds than you could if someone's just cold calling 300 numbers a day. And so, no, unless you want to put an army of individuals out there, sometimes sending out that text blast, a chat, that email, the LinkedIn, you name it, Facebook post. So, I mean, I'm competing. You know, when I saw the shift
Hmm.
during COVID, because when people were leaving the office, you couldn't call, get Betty on the line to get transferred. All of a sudden, now it's just straight to voicemail or just straight to email.
True.
So it became non-voice. So we had to be a lot more creative in regards to voicemail and email templates and workarounds and skip tracing. So to answer your question, no, if someone's creative with their marketing or they understand how to get through even an influencer or other channels besides a YouTube and a Facebook, there's many other social networks out there. And so
True.
even the Instagram, whatever. But for me, in the beginning of business, it was interesting because I would go on certain sites and people would say, hey, I'm looking to hire 10 people for customer support. Send me your information. And the next thing you know, me and 5,000 other people are sending it there. And instead of offering it for $1, now everyone's pushing it for 15 cents. And if, unless you are near shore rates, the offshore rates in India and the Philippines and Asia were a fraction of mine. So I was being outbid by those people. And so I needed to be a little more creative. So then I went the opposite way. I started contributing on online forums, not the podcast, I was way before that, but I was doing, I don't know, articles and forum posts and just doing certain contributions to other types of sites that might generate organic SEO for specific landing pages that I have that might rank me. And
Hmm.
so for a small company of just 150 men, I was on page one in Costa Rica just by just by panning for gold. I was still getting my ounce, but damn it, I was breaking my back. but it was working. It was working. And so my strategy, I didn't have $10,000 a month budgets for marketing. I had to do it a different way. Sometimes it was the old school canvassing, and when people would knock on doors or set up a little table at the town square. And so sometimes you need to be resourceful and creative and just sell your lemonade. And you see who comes by, and then you just take it from there. That's usually how the biggest stories happen, you know?
Yes, yes, that's true. Okay, great. Well, how would you define leadership? And what are the great leadership qualities a good leader must have?
There's always that thing about the fear and the respect. I don't like that. I think what's happening is people are bringing their bad experiences over to me and judging me on what happened at their last job. So I'm not going to yell the loudest or pretend to be the strongest that way. I think the best leader is, they say, the market speaks. You ever see those sad articles about a kid at Chuck E. Cheese and no one shows up for his birthday party? It happens. I mean, the market speaks. If no one shows, no one shows. And so I don't know people's leadership styles. Sometimes you may need the Marine sergeant screaming at you so you survive war, you thrive and become even stronger, or you need the grandma knitting warm blankets sort of approach. So it depends on the person's temperature and how they take it in. But at the end of the day, if it's past payday on the 15th or the 30th, and you come back to work that next day and you didn't quit, I must have done something right. And so sometimes I don't ask. I just let the gods play. And how it happens, it happens. But if there's a leakage, if there's a spillage, if there's an exodus, if you see cancers, if someone, and I'm not talking about negative people, sometimes they'll see something and just they don't know how to express it to you, but if people aren't anchoring and connecting and creating bridges, you have to understand where I'm going with these metaphors, is in something's wrong. And if you think that you can just stamp each person the same, no. Why do you think menus are so diverse? And same with crayon boxes. It takes different things with different people. And if you're capable of, my man, if you're capable of just standing next to you and not saying anything for 3 minutes and just having comfortable silence, walking away and resolving the issue, then you're a leader.
Okay. Role models. Have you had any role models? Any mentors who help you shape your career journey over the years?
Well, naturally, I got to say my family, my mommy and my daddy and my older brother. Great people. Same with my grandparents, were big influences. I had some teachers back in the day that gave me second chances and believed in me. And I've had certain sports coaches that told me to suck it up and get tougher and get out there and win. So you kind of give you that sort of edge. And I had certain friends that called the balls and the strikes and were straight with me. And those are some of the best people too, that they respect you enough to tell you might need some gum or fix your tie, when things happen. But let's talk business. In regards to my own personal career, I gravitated more towards speakers. And I was easily distracted and bored. So I like television and movies like everybody does. And so I will mention 3 individuals that I studied, not enjoyed, studied. And sometimes I had to look up their vocabulary. The first person I'll mention is Dirk Benedict. He was the face man, Templeton Peck, in the A-Team and the original Starbuck and Battlestar Galactica. I thought his speaking style, his North American, Anglo-Saxon style, was very choice. And then my second influence was Pierce Brosnan, before James Bond, when he was Remington Steele. I can't speak like he can, his European style, but the delivery was perfect, and it was poised and it had character. I studied that, plus the vocabulary. Half of them were SAT words. I had to look up stuff. And then the greatest teacher for me was an actor named Basil Rathbone. He was Sherlock Holmes back in the 30s and 40s with Nigel Bruce. He did like 17 movies and a bunch of old-time radios. If I tried to imitate him, Kevin, you would laugh at me and go, "What's wrong with you?" I mean, his entire stuff, it's like opening up a dictionary. But I felt his rhetoric, and when people would attack him, the way he would handle himself and respond with being stoic and with balance and poise, that got studied. I'm just watching individuals that are such advanced communicators, and then I would take these things and I would use it and it would work. Like for an example, instead of saying, "How may I help you?" You don't use words like that. You say, "Yo, Kevin, how may I assist you? How may I guide you? How may I lend a hand?" And instead of saying, "Excuse me," you say, "For my clarification or for my edification." And I said, wait a second, what these guys are doing is readjusting the tone. So they keep it positive and they minimize any sort of rabbit holes. And I said, that's a very interesting way to play. Is it manipulation? I'm not lying to you, but I have rhythm and I have vocabulary and I'm ready to go. And so expect 30 seconds to turn into 5 minutes and a conversion. And so that's the kind of fun game that we play, my friend, where we dance with words and we jump clouds. That's how we play the game.
I love it. Okay. Well, key career lesson. If there is one key career lesson that you learned the hard way, what would it be that you can share with us?
Yeah, one of the biggest lessons I learned is not to be hard on myself. Why would you put additional weight on yourself? Why would you put rocks in your backpack? And so looking back on certain things, sure, you're human, you feel things, but such wasted time, energy, distraction. And let's say you and I are hanging out having a burger and all of a sudden you ask me a question and I'm mean back to you. You're like, "Richie, what's wrong with you?" That's not fair to you, Kevin. With such limited time we have just to go hang out, why would you bring that with you? And so it's easier said than done. And I think two of the biggest lessons that somebody can learn in business is impulse control and maturity. Take it any way you want. Look at it anyway. But those are the two biggest things I think people need to chew on.
Okay. Well, we have a little tradition in the American Business Podcast. I have a question for you coming from our previous guest, and I'll ask you to leave a question with me in this episode. So I'll take the question and ask to our coming guest.
Sure.
Here's the question from our previous guest. Is it a good time to start a startup company nowadays?
I think carpe diem. Who knows if we're ever going to be here tomorrow? And when you say starting a company, it could just be as simple as just drawing what the logo looks like, or thinking what the jingle is going to be, or what the uniform's going to look like. Doesn't mean you need to throw $15,000 out on something. And so depends on the stage, but I think today is the best day to start anything. And depending on your resources and time, that's where your priorities are. And my company started, I guess, from conversations with 2 or 3 friends. I was in between jobs. They said, "Do with what you know," and they started a business. And it seemed overwhelming, but where I'm at today by owning a call center, a server room, and staff was a lot different than it was 18 years ago when I was renting a turnkey station at a blended call center, like an internet cafe. I didn't have the bells and the whistles. It's not a private office. But I was able to scale accordingly and be responsible with my money. So somebody else was in charge of the server room, the internet, the coffee, and the toilet paper. I just had to make sure people got paid that month. The campaign was happy. I did my training in QA. And then you bring on additional responsibilities. It's like taking the training wheels off. And so if anything and nothing, instead of paying for a huge website, why don't you just start with a Facebook fan page? And instead of hiring staff, why don't you do something that might be either automated, or if you don't really have the budget, to just pay per minute or pay per call at some of these blended centers, so someone live answers the call for you. There's many ways to start small, but at least it starts. And if you can save time here, then you can invest it there. And what was interesting initially with the SEO was, if you made a post somewhere and 150 people saw it, there's a chance that maybe 10 people might click through the call center, because you can look at your analytics and see where things come in. And then if you do that 1,000 times, that's just one way to get all the different hits from different countries. And it's a gift that keeps on giving. It just took time. And so, as I'm saying, while you're watching your movie, you could be putting ads in 5 different places. When you're on the treadmill or you're in your car, there are things you can do proactively where you can multitask. And so that's all I'm saying, is that if you just calm down and slow down, and you take everything you have, all these messed up wires that are all connected. I said it earlier, Kevin, just separate the big piles to smaller piles. And then things become so much more manageable. And so, as I say before, my friend, I think health is important. That if you're not healthy, you're not good to anybody, and you'll be less than. And, you know, the gym to me is structure and discipline. I've been doing it since I was 17. So I can't force you to go to the gym. But if you can do these sort of things to release stress, and then to bring in good energy, and to take care of yourself, chances are, my brother, you can play the long game, and you have the endurance to make it, and you don't feel so puffed out on a Wednesday. You have the energy to run through, if that makes any sort of sense. And
Absolutely.
I get passionate towards this because I've done it myself, and so have you. And the people that are listening and watching this today, they all are on their own self-march and forced march. And just let you know that Kevin and Richard have your back, especially during those times when the cameras are off and no one's around, and you're by yourself, and let's say your head's on your pillow, and you have those deep thoughts. My main thing is, don't quit. Go the distance. Take your hits, but keep going. And that's the most important thing about being an entrepreneur that can last.
Yes, I like the fact that you actually emphasize wellness and self-care. Very important for professionals, for the resiliency.
Well, you and
endurance.
I weren't good looking. We were lucky, but some people have to work at it. No, but that's just my point. But no, it's true, my man. You need to have a release somehow, some way. If not, you'll just be in a weird bubble.
Okay, what is your question for the next guest?
Okay, next guest. What is your secret sauce in regards to hiring top talent?
I love this question. Okay, great. Well, do you have any question that you'd like to ask me in this episode?
Hey, I asked you this earlier, where you got your glasses. You're a good-looking cat. I know you did as one of your sponsors.
Yeah, appreciate it. Well, we are promoting Zenni.com. So we got it. So I got it online, basically. So yeah, I have a bunch of glasses. So I have a really large collection, actually. So
Kevin, my buddy, tell me where you're from originally.
I'm originally from Istanbul.
Istanbul.
Yes.
Wow.
So yeah, my journey in US started in 1999. Yeah, so I came to US to study my master's. That was the beginning
your
of my
master's in?
So direct marketing. So marketing is my expertise. Yes.
Not only was I complimenting the glasses, but you actually are smart with or without glasses. That's
I appreciate
great.
it.
And did you read all those books behind you? What's going on?
I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
Man, I love the American Business Podcast. Now, you really give some gems out there. You make your guests feel exceptionally comfortable. I hope I was able to share some insights.
That was
today
great.
on what makes a
That was
call center
great.
CEO tick, you know?
Yes. This is actually our mission, right? So we are learning from you today. So it's important that we listen and you share your insights. And that is our main mission, to create this educational informative environment. What is your career advice for next generation professionals? How they should prepare
Oh,
themselves?
they're going to think I'm nagging, but I'm going to say it, and I'm going to give you an example. So I walk into my lunchroom, right? 50 people are sitting in there. Tables are packed. Everyone's on their phone. Every single one. And they're all watching Japanese anime and other things. Still don't get that. But that's not the point. The point is you got 8 people sitting at a table, even co-ed tables, which is even cooler. And so why aren't you talking? Talk to the girls. See what's going on. And so I would walk over and I'd start teasing them. And then I would make a joke. I go, if this were the Breakfast Club, you couldn't even make that movie. And they looked at me like, what's the Breakfast Club? Oh, forget it. Forget Fast Times and Ferris Bueller. But my suggestion, and it's a big suggestion, is put your phone down, because I'm with you now, really with you. Being on that phone is telling me that whatever you're doing there is more important than me. And I understand there's emergencies and circumstances, but if it's Candy Crush or something else, I mean, it's just not right. And so you will go to the parks and you'll see the high school kids getting out of school, and you'll see the groups of people around. And some play soccer, some talk, but the majority of them are on their phones. And so I love the phone. I know that it's great, but my suggestion is if you're ever live, like at a theater, it's different than a movie. So anytime you're in live life, put the phone away. It's 10 times better than anything you can get on that little screen. Sit with these people, take it in, and maybe your senses will start kicking in. You might smell things, hear things, and see things because you're in the now. What a beautiful thing. And so what I've seen, and I'll just say it in a very diplomatic way, but the people that we're hiring that are 18 to 22, let's just say, could even be a little bit older, they're extremely intelligent, they're learned, but they are lacking in specific interpersonal social skills. It doesn't mean that they are low class, they're rude or crude. I didn't say that. But their body posture, their reaction times and their reaction levels, their eye contact, their ability to ask follow-up questions, their ability to retain information live, their ability to structure certain conversations so it concludes and goes in certain directions. And that's okay. But I mean, imagine you and I, how we grew up. I see us more of like a circle, when these guys are more of just a straight line, but 5 times the size. I think I'd rather have a 1 that goes into a circle than 5 that could just go straight one way. 5 rockets in one area doesn't help. And so, and also in regards to emotional maturity, you have to be extremely selective of your vocabulary because of the delicacy of talking. And so guess what? Almost like math. If you do 2 + 2 = 5, you got to show them, and Billy's got to get it. With me, I have the actual QA call. So I go, Kevin, the guy said he's from New York. You're writing down Jersey. He said 850, not 853. So all I do is when those calls are going, I'll just look at you and go, and then you look at me and you go, yeah, I Kevin, you're better than that. And so sometimes the mirror speaks for itself. I have the luxury of something where it's you doing you. So if you said ABC instead of 1, 2, 3, that's you. And so it allows me that buffer. It allows them, con calma, with tranquilidad, to listen to these calls, to review it again, to allow me to interject and suggest, practice, put in, and back again. And so, unfortunately, I have to give about 2 to 6 weeks worth of soft skills, bedside manner training. to get them up to speed of where it was 15 years ago. And so that's my thesis on
very
the
important.
next generation.
Yes. I and to your point, absolutely. I mean, the more that we use technology, and that's also inevitable, we are using more of these devices more often than before. Now AI is coming in; it's becoming part of our lives in different ways, and these social skills that you pointed, it's becoming more and more important. Eventually, humans like to interact with humans, and we need to have these skill set. So absolutely, very very important in any business setting, in any industry. So
You want to know one of the tests that we do for fun when we role play?
right.
So we'll do role playing, right? And we're talking, and then all of a sudden I'll tell my supervisor to put a dog in the background barking. Kevin, you should stop and ask me, hey, I love dogs, because I hear your dog. And Kevin's like, I love dogs too. And then you have to, this is where you know the guy's smart. What's the name of your dog? His name is Scrappy. What type is your dog? It's a Maltese. How old's your puppy? Puppy? Ha ha ha, Scrappy's 10. That's all I need. Scrappy, Maltese, 10. And so when I call you back to confirm the appointment that we set for next Thursday to come by your house to talk about your solar panels, all of a sudden I'll go, whoop, whoop, whoop. How's Scrappy doing? Yeah, I love that Maltese, your 10-year-old puppy. And then you just start, and you go, Richard, you remember? Of course I do.
I love
by
that
the
part.
way,
Yes.
another bit of advice, if I may. It's called a positive escalation. Let me ask you a question. You have an individual at your company, Kathy, correct?
Yes.
Did an excellent job setting this up. And so I wanted to give a verbal positive escalation to Kathy as part of your organization, who did a phenomenal job. And so when I would make my prospecting phone calls and I would speak to a Miss Kathy, besides asking to speak to you, Kevin, and being transferred, I would mention to you verbally that, and then when I sent the email to you, I would mention her as well. So when I call your company back next Thursday and she answers the phone, guess who gets the hero's welcome? So if you want people to learn how to earn that past the pitch and not compromise ethics, values, and morals, do things like that, Kevin. Because when you mention Kathy's, you get on your podcast, the American Business Podcast, because you're nice to Kathy and you follow up. And so that was a very good lesson for me to learn about the strength of your organization.
Yeah, these are great tips. Truly appreciate it.
Yeah, of
Totally
course.
appreciate it. Yes, absolutely. Well, for those who like to continue this conversation with you and learn more about your organization, what is the best way that they can be in touch with you and learn about your company?
Well, they should buy a plane ticket and fly down here, especially when it gets freezing up there in New York. You know what I mean? But if they want, they can send me an email, CEO at Costa Rica's callcenter.com, or call me, 888-271-6750. And if someone just shoots me an email and says, yo, here's a script, heard you with Kevin, what do you think? I'll be more than happy to review it and send my suggestions back. But my man, I can't thank you enough. I had the greatest time with you today.
The pleasure is all mine. Thank you very much for sharing your professional insights and your professional wisdom with us today. Thank you very much, and looking forward to seeing you again in the American Business Podcast.
Thanks, pal.
Thank you. Have a great day. And to our audience and to our listeners, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for listening. We'll be right back after a short break. Would you like to listen to music during your work time? We are here to help. We created ABP Office Music Pod, powered by the American Business Podcast. ABP Office Music Pod is for you, the working professional. You can enjoy jazz, lo-fi, smooth jazz, classic music, and more during your work time. We keep the music positive and energetic. You can go to the YouTube channel of the American Business Podcast, or you can scan this QR code and start listening right away. There is more coming in the American Business Podcast, and this is one of them. Enjoy ABP Office Music Pod during your work time, and thank you very much for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Reddit. Do you know the biggest challenge nowadays for American small businesses? That is visibility. That's why we partner with Reddit for Business. There are more than 440 million visitors weekly on Reddit. Furthermore, Reddit is reliable and millions of users are going to Reddit to get the real feedback from real people. It is the number one source for real reviews on products, services, and brands. There is a promotion going on that I'd like you to consider and take advantage of. When you spend $500 on Reddit for advertising, you'll get $500 in advertising credit. True story. I am a Reddit user, and anytime I like to have feedback or review for a product or service, I go to Reddit and I talk to Reddit communities. I get the real feedback and real review from real people and real communities. Scan this QR code and sign up for Reddit advertising. Get the visibility for your company, for your products and services on Reddit with Reddit advertising. Reach people ready to buy your products and services with Reddit advertising. Scan the QR code and sign up today. Thank you for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Anywhere Apps by Kerr Consulting, now Cherry Baker. Anywhere Apps are designed to help you digitize and automate your business processes. Anywhere Apps are family of business software products. There are more than 40 products available for business process digitization and automation. Anywhere's apps are easy to use, they are standalone, and they are also ready to integrate with your ERP and accounting software systems. Today, I'd like to promote APS Anywhere, which is part of Anywhere Apps software product portfolio. APS Anywhere, designed for manufacturing companies. Whether you are a process manufacturing company, food and beverage, chemical, and more, or a discrete manufacturing company, automotive, aerospace, electronics, and more. APS stands for Advanced Planning and Scheduling. APS Anywhere is ready to streamline, digitize, and automate your production planning process. As you know, in manufacturing, production planning is not easy. There are always some bottlenecks and challenges. You need to put together your resources, 3M, man, machine, and material. APS Anywhere designed to streamline this process and automate it for you. It is a modern system. It runs on cloud. It also has deployment options for installation on your server or your private cloud environment. The system is scalable. It comes with unlimited number of production planning scenarios, meaning before you execute, you can see the financial implications and timing of your production planning on APS Anywhere. APS Anywhere comes with a very colorful and easy-to-use Gantt chart so that you can see your production planning on a colorful and easy-to-operate Gantt chart before you finalize your production planning purposes. The system is also integratable. It is ready to integrate your ERP system, MRP system, and other systems whenever there is a need. It is designed for manufacturing companies by manufacturing experts. It also comes with ready-made reports if you like to utilize. Furthermore, on APS Anywhere, you can also use demand forecasting function, meaning based on your past manufacturing and sales figures, the system can predict what will be your demand in the future. This will help you manage your supply chain in a more productive manner. I have the QR code on the screen. You can scan the QR code and you can learn more about APS Anywhere as well as Anywhere App software system in general. There is more. I have a direct line for you. You can send me a direct email, kevin@kerrconsulting.com. kevin@kerrconsulting.com, and I'll be happy to hear from you about Anywhere Apps, APS Anywhere, or any Anywhere apps that is offered by Anywhere apps by Cure Consulting, now Cherry Baker. Thank you for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Otter AI. Otter is the AI note taker that builds your knowledge and powers your workflow with transcription, automated summaries, AI chat, and more. Get your AI-powered assistant for meeting notes, tasks, and more. Scan the QR code on the screen and sign up today. Otter AI is the latest note taker that you can utilize, and you can set your meetings, you can take your notes, and you can also set up your follow-up actions automatically with the help of the Otter AI. Scan the QR code and sign up today. Thank you for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from DocuSign. If you are signing vendor contracts and customer contracts very often, just like I do on daily basis, consider DocuSign. DocuSign is the latest modern digital and electronic signature software system. Furthermore, you can manage your vendor contracts, customer contracts, NDAs, and any other commercial contracts on DocuSign digitally with no need of local installation and no need of keeping your documents on your laptop or your mobile device. Furthermore, with the latest technology of DocuSign, it has intelligent agreement management. It recognizes your repeated documents and creates contracts automatically and makes things easier for you. Do you know how many users are there for the DocuSign system? More than 1 billion users. There are many companies using DocuSign and trust DocuSign for electronic and digital signature. True story. I also use DocuSign on daily basis and it works smoothly. Highly recommended. You see the QR code on the screen. When you scan the QR code, you fill up the form to start your free trial and join the DocuSign user community. Enjoy your DocuSign experience, and I hope you sign up today. I have the QR code on the screen. Thank you very much, and enjoy the experience. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Gemini, Gemini Trust. Gemini makes crypto simple. Find, trade, and buy over 70 different coins, including Bitcoin and Solana, on the best cryptocurrency platform. Gemini Trust. Start trading crypto here. I have the QR code on the screen. You can scan the QR code and start signing up today. Because they have a great customer service, you can reach out to them and get assistance 24/7. Scan the QR code and start trading crypto on Gemini. Thank you for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Wyzen. At the American Business Podcast, we always talk about continuous improvement and professional development. That is why we partner with Wyzen, trust the nation's largest network for tutoring. Wyzen helps you find the tutor that you need in many different subjects: chemistry, computer, foreign languages, geometry, English, music, physics, reading, SAT, science, and many more. I have the QR code on the screen that you can sign up and start searching for tutors and enjoy the learning experience and continuous improvement as we always talk about in the American Business Podcast. Scan the QR code and sign up for Wyzen today. Thank you very much. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Rosetta Stone. Rosetta Stone is bringing you foreign languages. Learn from the experts, choose your plan to get started, sign up today. New Year is coming, and if your New Year resolution is learning a foreign language, Rosetta Stone is the choice for you. Rosetta Stone is offering you a long list of foreign languages: French, Italian, German, Chinese, Greek, Turkish, Polish, Portuguese, Vietnamese, and many more languages are available for you to get started today. scan the QR code on the screen and sign up for Rosetta Stone and enjoy the learning experience of foreign language. Thank you very much. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Anywhere Apps by Kirk Consulting, now Cherry Bekaert. Anywhere Apps are business software systems, and they are designed to digitize and automate your business processes. Today, I like to focus on contract management anywhere as part of Anywhere Apps software product portfolio. Contract Management Anywhere is an AI-powered vendor, customer, and legal contract management software system. It is modern, it runs on cloud, it's easy to use, and it's scalable. Because of the AI capabilities of the system, software comes with an AI chatbot that you can get your answers about any contracts that you have. Renewal dates, amounts, start dates, and other details can be learned from the system in a conversation. I have the QR code on the screen. You can scan the QR code to learn more about Contract Management Anywhere, as well as Anywhere Apps in general. There is more. I have a direct email for you. You can send me a direct email about Anywhere Apps and Contract Management Anywhere, kevin@kirkconsulting.com. I'll be happy to help you and help you schedule a demo session with Team Anywhere Apps. Looking forward to hearing from you, and I hope you enjoy Anywhere Apps. Thank you for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Norton, advanced tech for advanced threats. Sign up today. Norton offers you different packages to completely save and secure your data and your devices. Each Norton package comes with antivirus, malware, ransomware, and hacking protection capabilities. In addition, there is VPN, private internet connection, dark web monitoring, and parental control capabilities in each package. There is a promotion going on right now. I have the QR code on the screen. You can get up to 60% discount if you sign up right now for one of the packages. There are packages of Deluxe, Standard, Plus, and Select. Depends on the number of devices that you like to connect, as well as the features that you like to utilize when you are using Norton. I have the QR code on the screen. When you scan the QR code, you'll see the different packages and options available for you. Scan the QR code, go to the page that you like to sign up, pick the package that you like to use, and sign up today. True story. I am also using Norton on a daily basis, and I know all of my devices are secure every single day, thanks to Norton. Scan the QR code on the screen and start using Norton today and save your devices and your data in a safe and secure manner with the help of Norton. Thank you very much and enjoy the experience.